move on to lighter news now, and a news that will surprise, well, none of us. Disney's live-action remake of Snow White is officially one of the biggest flops in Hollywood history.
All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
What? So yeah,
my agent would have punched me in the face.
I was intimidated, to say the least.
Girl. What in the Disney disaster is going on? Rachel Zegler, the once rising star of Hollywood, is now reportedly on the run. Yes, running. Not from an evil queen, but from the internet's wrath and a career spiraling faster than a runaway train. After the complete and total meltdown that was the Snow White remake, things have gone from bad to absolutely tragic for the 23-year-old actor. Sources say Rachel isn't just facing criticism, she's facing devastation. Word on the street is that she's so overwhelmed by the sheer volume of hate online, she's considering leaving town altogether and might even be seeking therapy. And honestly, who could blame her? The Snow White flop wasn't just a bad box office weekend, it was a full-blown catastrophe. Disney's already shelving plans for remakes like Tangled because of how bad the fallout was. And here's the real kicker. Rachel might be talented, no one's denying that. But fans couldn't ignore what they called her controlling and narcissistic streak. And here's the plot twist. Rachel even admitted it herself. Like, girl, what were you thinking?
I'm a narcissist.
And just when we thought things couldn't get worse, boom, in comes Andrew Burnap, her own co-star, dropping some serious truth bombs. For those who don't know him, Andrew isn't just some background extra. He's a hardworking actor from small-town Rhode Island who grinded his way up from stage plays to land a major Disney role, the literal dream. He poured his heart into Snow White, and when he got the role, he even described the moment as life-changing in People magazine. Like, he literally sat down on the ground outside in shock. That kind of dream come true. But then, that dream turned into a nightmare. Andrew's big break got buried under the rubble of Rachel's controversies. The girl couldn't stop giving interviews that fans say were dripping in arrogance, and suddenly the movie was less of a fairy tale and more of a PR horror show. Poor Andrew's been dodging paparazzi ever since the flop. Despite all his effort, all his talent, his career launchpad got sucked into the tornado that was Rachel's divisive, so-called woke takes. And we're not just talking rumors. Posts from And Wokeness, pointing out Rachel's own Instagram stories that feel, well, let's just say they don't scream fairy tale princess. Now, this isn't some minor misstep, this is full-blown exposure. Her behavior on and off the set is now being revealed, and Andrew Burnap's leaked receipts are just the beginning. Rachel apparently wanted control over everything. Insiders say she tried to dictate how scenes should be filmed, especially when it came to showing Snow White as the boss, and only the boss. There's even a moment in the film where Andrew's character stumbles introducing himself as Jonathan Princess before awkwardly correcting himself. Like, that's not a blooper, that's a whole red flag parade.
My name's Jonathan, Princess. Not Jonathan, Princess. Just Jonathan. Princess.
But the biggest yikes moment? Rachel herself out there on the press tour saying that Andrew's scenes could get cut, dismissed. Girl, what kind of co-star says that? It screams power trip, not teamwork. That kind of statement isn't just shady, it's straight up sabotage.
You've told me before that your version of Snow White is different and it's more of a 2022 version of Snow White. What did you mean by that?
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah. Weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
And you know she didn't stop there. Oh no. Rachel dragged the original Snow White love story through the mud, calling the princess stalker and promising the remake wouldn't follow any classic fairy tale structure. I mean, excuse me? Some fans are now speculating that what happened to Andrew might have been more than just misfortune. They're whispering about Hollywood humiliation rituals. Yes, those. Think it's a stretch? Just look at that wild John Cena stunt at the 2024 Oscars, walking out in nothing but an envelope. People are calling it a loyalty test from behind-the-scenes power players. And Rachel's move to bulldoze the traditional storyline? Some are saying it fits that exact pattern.
Really not gonna do this? Fine, just give out the award then. God, the worst.
Now look, it's all just a theory, but when you step back and consider the weird things going on at Disney lately, the whole thing starts looking a lot less like coincidence and a lot more like strategy. Watch that video from the American Family Values channel if you need proof. They break down how Disney's gone full throttle with this aggressive new message-first agenda.
My name's Nick. I'm one of Fairy Godmother's apprentices. I'm here to shop you around and make all your selections for the day.
And what I think is actually really cool this year is we've got a Pride Mickey with a rainbow heart, and he's waving the flag, and I don't know that we've ever had something, I mean, at least that I can remember in my memory, like this, that's like Mickey.
And Rachel Zegler, she was the face of that shift. Her version of Snow White totally ditched romance, replaced it with what people are calling modern political messaging, and basically spat on the original source material. She didn't want the prince, didn't want the rescue, didn't want the love, just Snow White standing alone, like a girl boss in a corset. But wait, it gets weirder. Remember the SAG-AFTRA strike? Rachel stood at a protest and said, and I'm not kidding, that if she had to wear the Snow White costume for 18 hours, she should be paid for every single hour the movie was streamed. Like, what? That's not a demand, that's a mic drop moment of delusion.
I'm gonna stand there 18 hours in a dress with an iconic Disney princess. I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
18 hours a day. Those were her words. And with all this chaos coming to light, the controlling on set, the bizarre press quotes, the social media backlash, it's no surprise her reputation is absolutely crashing in Hollywood. But girl, it doesn't end there. Oh no, the hits just keep coming. And just when Rachel thought the storm was over, bam, her own co-star Gal Gadot stepped in with the ultimate shade. In an interview, Gal didn't drop Rachel's name, but she basically blamed the entire Snow White disaster on a lack of teamwork and people being too woke. I mean, come on, who else could she be talking about?
The way I see it is if you want to have a successful project, then you need to have a very competent team, along with competent and well-behaved co-stars that are by your side all the time and supporting you. Unfortunately, we did not really have that with this production, and the greatest mistake any actor or actress can make when you are promoting a film is when you begin to get very political.
Let's face it, Rachel was the only one going off script, dragging the original Snow White love story and injecting every interview with political commentary. While Gal kept it classy, Rachel lit a match and set the whole project on fire.
Like 1937 that we all cherish. It really was a very difficult production for me, if not the most difficult production in my entire career. We dealt with numerous setbacks due to some incompetence from our co-stars.
And the result? Historic humiliation. Rachel's Snow White is now being called the biggest flop in Hollywood history. Let that sink in.
Move on to lighter news now, and a news that will surprise, well, none of us. Disney's live-action remake of Snow White is officially one of the biggest flops in Hollywood history.
Even her TikTok of the empty theaters showing her own movie went viral for all the wrong reasons. Now, theaters are dropping the film. Studios don't want her. Her name? Toxic. Her future? Uncertain. And that tension with Gal? Oh, it's real. They didn't even acknowledge each other at the premiere. And Rachel's gushy Instagram thank you post? She didn't mention Gal at all. Not even a fake, love you queen. Nothing. And Gal? She later said there were misunderstandings on set. Translation, it was a mess and Rachel was a big part of it. So here we are. Rachel Zegler's Hollywood dream? Dangling by a thread. Co-stars are exposing her, the internet's dragging her, studios are ghosting her, and Disney, they're probably wishing they could rewrite the entire movie with someone else. Do you think she can bounce back, or is this the end of the fairy tale? Let me know if you'd like a recap or follow-up version.